Okay, so my stupid fucking retarded ass, fucking goddamn fortunately, decided to fucking press the stop button instead of the pause button. So unfortunately, now I gotta make this a two-parter video. Unless I just make this all about just real quick news, rumors, gossip, and shit. There's the one video I did before this had to do with the AmazingDigital Circus trailer. So, any of you guys didn't see that one, I'm gonna link that one to part one. Links in the description box below if you want to look at that first part of the video before I get to this one. Oh, let's get on to the freaking internet drama news and celebrity news and a little bit of video game news and not too much politics news. I know that's not what you guys are here for, and that's not what you subscribe to me for. But I felt like it was just a smidge important, not too much. Well, this comes from Connor Murphy from Forbes. Says Diddy's deeply concerned over 50 Cent's new use of new footage and documentary. So it says Connor Murray. I'm going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read half of it. This fool from the blast in the past, bro. I said it a few times before, but I got to say it again. Like, this fucking fool, Curtis Jackson, like, honestly, dead ass. And he was, like, one of the first rap hip-hop artists that, like, I ever, like, actually started, like, listening to the most. Back when he still had, like, his team with him back in the day, like Tony Ayo, Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, who else? Hot Rod, and The Game. And of course, he dropped The Game because he was talking all this BS about New York. He was trying to feud that East Coast, West Coast. New York City is more better than Los Angeles and all the rest of California, San Francisco, San Diego, and all the other West Coast states and Cali are more badass and more hardcore and can fuck people from New York City up a lot better than New York City New Yorkers just pretend that they're fucking fake ass motherfuckers, or there's fake ass motherfuckers on the West Coast. At the end of the day, both of them have fake and real people. It doesn't matter. But anyways, I ain't gonna get into that. This fool, my God, this motherfucker right here, bro. Curtis Jackson, bro. Like, he was like the most absolute fucking badass MFer on the planet when he was doing the whole G Unit thing. G Unit sneakers from Reebok. He made the vitamin water. He made Apple iPad shuffle things. He had a deal with Apple for a little while and iPhone, iTunes things. Like, he was at peak. I knew guys who were like in the early mid late 2000s, between the ages of maybe even 10, ages of 10, 11 to like 19, maybe 25 years old. You knew who this fucking dude, 50 Cent, aka 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, aka like Stunt 101, aka Mr. Ferrari, aka fucking the dude that dated Vivica A. Fox. Like, this man was all over the fucking place, man. Anyways, that's enough of me trying to idol worship the dude. His upcoming documentary as Sean P. Diddy Combs, produced by a longtime rap rival Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent. And I'm glad he started doing movies after that too. I don't even know if he still is the CEO owner for Vitamin Water. I don't know. Jackson boasts previously unseen footage of Combs in the days before his arrest, filmed by an imprisoned music monologue or mogul's own team, though Combs' team questioned how the documentary obtained it. Let's read a little bit of this stuff here. Jackson appeared on the Good Morning America show on Monday to reveal his upcoming Netflix dossier. I think that's dossier on Combs, including new footages of Combs have commissioned in 2024 before his arrest on September of, you know what, can't say that or any of those things because how YouTube is. You don't get paid by them. I don't get monetized by it, but I don't want to get claimed or say, oh, this is talking about bad EX trafficking young men and young women and all that. I don't want to get in trouble for that shit. So it says in a short trailer released on Monday, footage show Combs speaking with his lawyers in September 2024, lamenting. I never knew how to say that. Was lamenting or lamenting? Or lamenting, however the fuck you say it. It's this quote that we are, quote, we're losing, unquote, and another clip says on GMA, aka Good Morning America, quote unquote, depicts Combs saying that he needs him, quote, hand sanitizer and, quote, bath, unquote. He was, quote, on the streets amongst the people, unquote. Combs spokesperson Judah, I'm probably going to I don't know if I'll butcher it or not. Judah Engelmeyer told the New York Times on Monday neither Combs nor his team gave permission to use the footage in Jackson's documentary, adding that he is, quote, deeply concerned, unquote, about how, quote, again, there's so many quotations on this. Damn. How this material was accessed and why Netflix chose to use it. Yeah, so, this dude, I'm not gonna lie, he probably has super powerful connections. I don't know if he has really super deep Freemasonic, Illuminati, Bilderberg, Rockefeller, Rothschild, etc., people that really won the world, like the Economic Forum, Council of the Nines, and a lot of very deep Antichrist, devil-worshipping Satanist fucks that he's connected with. I hope that he's not connected to any of those people, but then again, he's like occasionally doing a lot of Hollywood movies. I pray he didn't sell out his soul. I'm praying the absolute true God up there, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, obviously, the only one that should get praise. I know I'm gonna get shit on that, but whatever. I don't care. You don't like that? Go fuck off. I use a lot of profanity. That's probably the only reason my ass is, unfortunately, probably either going to burn in hell or probably for a lot of perverted, lustful thoughts I get. If I make it up there, great. But if not, unfortunately, that was my fault alone. Can't blame God for that. I just hope if I do have to go to a place that's burning, torturous place all the time, 24/7, with no breaks, I pray I don't get any of those things. I'm just saying. Anyways, yeah, you know what? It's all good for this dude, man. This guy's sitting on so much money, bro. So much fucking cash. Like, he's always, said he wanted to do, a expose about Diddy. And, he always used to laugh at him, make fun of him, and kind of, bully him a little bit here and there. I never really paid attention to that shit too much. Even when I was, in middle school and high school, when I used to listen to a lot of heavily, massively used, rap, hip-hop shit all the time. I used to, bob my head to all of that shit. I was kind of I don't want to say it was a phase per se, perception wise, but I don't know. It's just, for some reason, I was that was kind of my outlet on life. It wasn't a lot of the stuff that a lot of the white kids would listen to, all the Fall Out Boy or Green Day or what else was out there, Avril Lavigne and Slipknot and Blood and Dance Floor. That was a year after I got out of high school. A lot of poppy sort of shit, whatever. Acting in MySpace and Tiny Chat URL and Stickcam Block TV, old school DeviantArt, old school Newgrounds, and a very old school fucking Reddit era. My God. I remember the first year in 2005 when Reddit became a thing for the first time. My God. There were so many of my fucking friends that would stay there for hours on fucking end, dude. I saw the beginning of Reddit and the beginning of 4chan, and that shit fucking blew up so fast. Reddit nowadays is not really the same like it was in the mid-late 2000s when the internet was more like the wild, wild west. Because now it's a little bit more government controlled, especially in the UK and Australia. My God. For my Aussies and my British people out there, God rest your people's soul, bro. Because, I'm not saying America, like I said before, I'll say it again in the first part of the video when I did the reaction to Digital Circus episode 7's trailer review. I'm saying that America is the most greatest, most wonderfulest place in the world. We got a lot more freedom of speech, freedom of talk, freedom of this, freedom of that, but government still is just as corrupted, just as everywhere else is. Everyone, left, right, regardless if you're left, right, or center, it's controlled by the same people, like I just said, who 50 Cent may or may not be allegedly possibly friends with. I don't know. I hope he's not a part of any of those evil devil worshipping occults. Granted, a lot of his music kind of worship and glorified a lot of gang violence and shit, but when it came to freaking my boy, my absolute GOAT, best of all time, greatest of all time, mainstream rapper, this fool, dude, everything he rapped about, even though mainstream media Comedy Central back then or MTV or VH1 kind of make fun of him sometimes, occasionally, especially mainly Comedy Central, maybe HBO or Showtime or Netflix is a joke. I don't know. Netflix, the only way that was around, because this was at the time when Blockbuster and Hollywood Video in the 90s and 2000s was still on top of the world of everything until the early mid-2010s, where a lot of it just disappeared forever. I think Hollywood Video died first. and 2009, and then 2012, 13, or 14. I think that's when Blockbuster ran out of business. So this is around the time when like the internet, you couldn't really like take it for a grain of salt. Like to me personally, I believed almost everything I heard on the internet compared to like a lot of the mainstream boomer shit that was from Fox and CNN, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNBC, BBC, Sky News, all that stuff. I never believed those fuckers at all for a second. Even after I woke up in early mid 2009 from alternative media shit about like really who runs the world, whether it's Federal Reserves or the fucking Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergs, the Rockefellers, all those other fucking fools out there. Yeah. But you know what? I hope he doesn't end up getting a lawsuit from Diddy. Like, oh, like, he didn't like how 50 Cent used him in his documentary. You know what? I have a feeling he's probably not going to do 4 years in prison. If anything, he's probably just going to do, like, either 3-6 months in prison, or at the shortest, he's probably just going to be there for, like, 1 or 2 more years, and he's getting out. They might not, the mainstream media might not even fucking report on any of that. He'll probably just be at home doing his own thing and probably do more fucking parties. He's probably going to do it in a different side of the world, though. He's probably not going to do it in the United States anymore. He'll probably do it like somewhere in Asia or Japan or India, or maybe Australia, or maybe the laws are a lot more easier to get away with, like South America or somewhere like that, or Africa, maybe fucking Europe. I don't know if the Europeans are real strict about those laws, rules, regulations about, you know, the EX trafficking shit. I don't know. But let's go on to the next one. Actually, no, let's go on to this one real quick. I don't want to talk too much about it because it has to do with politics, but what the hell ever. It says Mr. Drumster, Orange Man MAGA dude, aka Make America Greater Again. It says Donald Trump, aka the Orange Man dude, says he may cut off income tax completely because tariffs revenues will be so large. Here's how the math adds up. U.S. President Donald Trump looks on during a meeting of his cabinet of the cabinet room of the White House on December 2nd, 2025. So this is only like 4 or 5 days ago. It wasn't that long ago. Article adheres to strict editorial standards. Some or all links may be monetized. What? That's stupid. Okay. And it says that the unaliving and taxes are life's only certainties, but according to the U.S. President of the United States, Donald Trump, a significant portion of the latter could be on the chopping block. Speaking of the U.S. military services members last week, Donald Trump floated the idea of eliminating income taxes entirely, funded by what he describes as a massive new tariff revenues. All this stuff here. What is this thing? I don't know what he says. I mean, this is how he says it. You know, like, the only way I've ever seen this dude, he's always been like an actor, entertainer, / Wall Street sort of dude. I never really took this guy seriously ever. Even when he did that show in the early mid-2000s, when I was still like in middle school, high school, like the Apprentice and the Celebrity Apprentice, I never took the dude seriously ever, man. He was kind of just like I'd say he was a clown, but he was just like the unhinged grandpa, unhinged uncle that you see at Thanksgiving or 4th of July or Christmas time and like Easter time. You see your parents and like, he's the uncle that just fucking like says whatever the fuck is on his mind. Like, he even said the word bitch earlier too. He said bitch. So the only reason I would ever respect Mr. Trump, he likes to use a lot of profanity. That's like the only thing, like putting the bullshit political garbage ass, fake bullshit ass mirage of politics completely far to the side. Because to me, you heard it a billion times on this channel, a trillion even at this point, that I don't believe in political, the left-right matrix paradigm shift or whatever it is. At the end of the day, the only thing that has power and control over this country and probably the rest of the world is the guy with the devil horns. That's the real person that controls everything in this world. Is pretty much whatever you want to call him. He has a billion names. I was growing up with him as a strict Christian evangelical household that I grew up in. It's either the devil, Lucifer, or Satan. He's the one, unfortunately, he controls all of that shit at the end of the day. I hate to burst out of you guys' bubble that still think that being a far right or far left Democrat or Republican or centrist thinks you're going to put your vote in and think the whole world's gonna fucking change for you overnight. No, it's not going to. It never will fucking change. And if you truly believe that, and you truly still feel that, oh no wait, I got a voice, I could still vote for whoever Republican senator or Democrat senator, male, female, congressman, congresswoman that doesn't even give a fuck about you. Like I have a voice that they're gonna change some new laws and new policies and all that shit. Even when they do change the laws, it's always gonna be against the people that are poor as shit. It's always gonna benefit the people way at the top, aka whatever you want to call them, the elites, the lizard people, the Illuminati, the Masons, etc., 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 etc. There's a million names that they go by. It's always gonna benefit them, and it's always gonna fuck us over. That's the fucking reality we live in. That's the reality we are unfortunately going to keep continuing to live in. And if you can't get your heads out of your fucking asses, and you still don't see the forest past the trees, like my boy Jacob's Ladder used to say, then unfortunately you're just a lost cause, man. Keep fucking dreaming in the Matrix paradigm. Keep drinking the Kool-Aid. Keep being a brainwashed sheep to the New World Order and the One World Government. And whenever whatever mark of the beast shit comes, and it's when you have whatever mark that formation comes into, that's going to be the point of no return. That's going to be the line drawn into the sand. When, whether or not Yahshua Hashem, the real true Jesus Christ that died for all of our sins, which I'm not trying to get into politics or get into religion, but if you really, really, truly believe that there is a good and evil in this world, which there is, and politics doesn't have shit to do with none of that. And if you still believe there's a freaking, oh, but Donald Trump's going to save this, he's going to save that. He's not going to do nothing, bro. The only thing he's going to do is just act and pretend he has all the power in the world. And even though he is probably like a small hat person, because those are the real fools that control everything, obviously. And I can't say it because, ooh, you're anti-schematics or schemutics. Like all the bad words they said about Mel Gibson. You know? I'm not trying to get canceled like how he did. Anyways. Yeah, that's just my little tangent rant. Really? At the end of the day, just try to like make a good relationship with Jesus and Holy Spirit and God. So that way, whatever mark of the beast shit happens, if a real actual rapture or puzzle catching away happens, hopefully you get whisked away. And if not, whatever comes on this earth after that day, God forbid that day ever happens during my lifetime, whether I get whisked away or I have to suffer the consequences and stay on earth after like Hashem, Jesus, Lord, takes his bride and all of his true people that had a relationship and tried to let people know that God and Jesus is real. You know what? Whether I stay on here or not, I'm gonna be very sad for all the people that were fucking bamboozled by this. Not even by this president, by other people too. That was my little TED talk there. I know a lot of people are going to get angry about that, but I had to say it. It says, and those rates would shrink imports, making it impossible to generate enough revenue to replace income tax. It's also worth noting that even with the income tax revenue, the federal government will still spend far more than it brought in. $5.235 trillion American dollars receipts versus $710 trillion American dollars again. And the outlaws leave a $1.775 trillion deficit in fiscal 2025. While Trump's proposal faces serious doubts, policy changes aren't the only ones. The only route to lowering the tax bills here are two powerful assets everyday investors use to their advantage are the same ones that the wealthy have learned to earn for decades. Oh, and by the way, if any of you guys really, really want to live off grid and really, truly want to break away from the system, either get gold and silver, or maybe like copper. As weird as that is. Anyways. At least a little bit more funny one here. So this is from, I don't really pay attention to this, but I thought it was funny anyways. This Kim Kardashian is, quote, not accepting the results of her brain scan. Her learning she has low brain activity in her frontal lobe. You know what? I'm just going to play it here. I already saw the video, but I hope I don't get claimed by this, but I might get claimed, but whatever.
and does these brain scans to see how your brain health is really looking. What are those holes?
Yeah, I don't like that. So what the holes mean is low activity. The front part of your brain is less active than it should be. With your frontal lobes as they work now, it would be harder to manage stress.
That just can't be. It just can't. Not accepting.
It could be the chronic stress that you've been under trying to think about taking the boards in a couple of months and studying 10 hours a day. But we have to make it better.
I gotta get on a plan to really figure this out because I have some shit to do this summer. Dr.
I don't know, man. You know what the funny thing was back in 2005, 06 to 2008? When I was still a sheep? Like, I can't tell you how many times. I'm not going to say I idolized or I worshipped the Kim Kardashian, but, like, how many times I, like, on the old school FHM and the old Playboy magazines, I didn't have them, but, like, one of my other cousins, whenever I went to his house on the weekends, I hung out with him. I was, like, so much old secret stash, like corn pictures of, not even just Kim Kardashian, her other two sisters too, Chloe and Courtney. For the other ones that were Gen Zs, the ones that they like to worship, Kendall and Kylie Jenner. Which, by the way, like, you know, if they were just normal bitches with a shitload of money and they weren't famous all over the internet and all over the world in general, like, they would be, there'll probably be a bunch of dudes that would probably want the hell out of them. Unless they were LGBTQIA and they weren't into women like that. That's probably the only way they wouldn't want to do the hokey pokey shit with a woman. Or my boy, how Just Cusack says, like, shatak. Or the other thing, boom shakalaka. I love it when he talks about that shit. Shout out to that motherfucker. He is absolute fucking riot of a joke, man. But yeah, dude, back in the day, there was, like, so much. I'm not going to get too descriptive in the details. I'll just say I used, like, a lot of Vaseline and a lot of fucking lotion over this chick. A lot. I'm glad I'm not even fucking, I didn't go blind or I lost my hearing from all the times I pumped out. And, let's say, I choked the chicken so many times over this chick, man. It's crazy. And this is before I knew she was, like, part of those evil satanic and New World Order Freemason occultic societies and shit like that. Like, that's before I even knew none of that. If any guys were here from the beginning, you know, like the two posters I had of Kim Kardashian there, I don't have them anymore. But I decided to just throw them out after I found out what she was about. And I didn't really care about her anymore like that anymore. Anyways. I don't know if this is, no, that's the other news. I was going to save this for, like, a different video. I might still talk about it. I don't know. So I'm not going to read the whole thing because it was a 3.5 minute video about it. So I might do that for next week. Because I haven't talked about nothing, this dude and drama thing at Sportskeeda in a while. I never really cared about this dude that much. Mr. H3H3, or better known as Mr. Ethan Klein and his wife Hila. They do the H3H3 podcast. They need no introduction. They're probably trillionaires or quadrillionaires or sextillionaires type of people at this point. So they're probably loaded with freaking money. Not saying that because they're Jews or none of that either. So this chick, I haven't seen this bitch in a long time, Casey Trauma. This girl fell so fucking hard, man, when she started doing the third wave feminism, SJW shit. I liked her better when she acted like a slut and a fucking whore. She was a lot more prettier like that until she started doing stupid, oh, women rise up, the hashtag me too. All these men are so bad, they're just pigs and all that. She fucked up so bad. I lost absolutely all respect for this cunt when she started doing that. I was like, yeah, she's not even existing to me anymore after that. So it says, Ethan Klein says he has a, quote, genuine forgiveness for Casey Tron after winning, unquote, the lawsuits. Comes from this person always has that Indian Arab name. I can never say it. I think it's called Arnesha or Aranesh Shivastava. So I'm just going to read maybe like two of them a little bit. So it's HRC Podcast. aka has Ethan have to responding to the Twitch streamer Casey, aka Caseytron's former apology by stating that he genuinely and generally forgives her after winning the lawsuit against her. For those unaware, Casey Tron issued an apology to Ethan and, quote, his wife, Hila Klein. They're settling a lawsuit in a video posted next. There's all the stuff here if you want to see it. Let's see. I kind of watched a little bit of it already, so I'm probably going to skip that part if I do a reaction video of it. But, you know what's weird? Her voice still sounds the same. It still has that, like, stereotype LA sort of, like, you get with a freaking lady of the night, and she has that, like, I don't care about nothing, guys. Like, I'm just gonna, like, smoke weed and, like, a bunch of guys. Like, I don't care. Just judge me. Like, I'm gonna get my Starbucks burrito or barista because I, like, am a woman, and if any man looks at me, like, with their perverted eyes undressing me with their eyes, they're a fucking rapist, and they need to get thrown in prison with their mansplaining. Like, they do that shit, it's so fucking irritating to the umpteenth degree. I don't like that shit. I never fucking did. Anyways, this one was kind of creepy here. MIT research says speak objects into existence using AI robots. Fortunately, it's more artificial intelligence shit here. It's very scary. You know what's weird? I always thought I knew they had a Tokyo game show in Japan, but then I found that they had like a Tokyo robotics show. Literally the other day, I was like, how long did this thing exist? And then the last one, I'll talk about that in a second. I guess some good news if you're still a hardcore Sony fan. This comes from my gaming Bible, even though it came out a while ago, November 26th, so 2.5, 3 weeks tops. I don't know. This comes from, I'm probably going to butcher this, so I'm just going to say his second name. Redden or Redden. PlayStation 6 seemingly leaks online, get hyped. That's literally it. So it says, quote, we all know that the PlayStation 6 is a not so distant horizon, but what games will be launching on the next gen console still remains to be seen. It is a sad realization that the PlayStation 5's lifespan is coming to an end, but it is also exciting to know that the PlayStation 6 may just be around the corner, with a whole batch of new games arriving alongside it. Excuse me. Now, according to a recent insider leak, one such game may be none other than Destiny 3. I don't care for Destiny, bro. That game is boring as hell. I don't care how much pew and all these loot boxes and shit you get, and how many like alien monster thing demons you unalive. It's just like another Call of Duty Battlefield clone, bro. What happened to the shit we used to get with the platformers and all that stuff? Or the racing simulators, or the fighter simulators, which there's still a couple of those racing simulator fighter sim, like, and then there's other ones out there too. Even puzzle games I didn't give a shit about, and stuff that had like really good ingenuity, like taking the video game industry and the video game like culture itself to another level. I'm like, all you ever get nowadays is either shit from Apex Legends or Valorant, Fortnite, another champion survival, like one man standing, one woman standing. And like those games, I don't know, maybe because I'm becoming a way more older man, because I was like, 28, 29 years old, and a lot of that shit started coming out. Like, and that in my early 30s, like, it doesn't resonate with me, man. I don't know why Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids like those type of games so much. I don't see the appeal, man. I tried to get in those games. I don't know if it's because I sucked ass at those games, or just, especially with Fortnite, dude. Like, Fortnite just, that screams. If you want to hear about, even though I don't believe in capitalism or communism or any of that shit, like, dude, that screams marketing, advertisement of fakeness, because it's just adding all these people in real life, and not even traditional video game characters. It's just adding all these fucking huge, like, amazing old school mainstream media stars and celebrities, even music artists that don't have nothing to do with video games. Like, they're putting them in there, and like they're thinking that that's all a video games is about. Like, I guess because Tencent is the one that owns Epic Games, or Epic Games owns Tencent. I don't know. That's not even what video games are all the frick about. It's so stupid, man. Like, that's not there to be a frick freaking virtual concert. If you wanted to do that shit on fucking VR chat or something, man. Do it there or do it fucking, I don't know, like, doing the virtual reality thing for normies that don't play video games. Don't make it this fucking thing that has nothing to do with video games, period, dude. Like, come the fuck on, dude. I never understood that, bro. I don't know. Because I'm just being an old man screaming at the boys, like, you kids nowadays don't know anything about gaming and shit. And the same thing probably Gen Xers would say about our generation, millennials. Like, oh, you millennials don't know anything about real Atari. And, you know, I had the Atari hat, but I wanted a Nintendo one back then, but whatever. I digress. Like, it's so stupid, bro. That's why I feel so bad for my nephew. He's so deep in all these Roblox and Minecraft and all these other freaking... He's not really into stuff like... Not Fortnite. Apex Legends and all that. He's still 7 years old. Not doing that stupid memes like 6, 7. That stupid shit. I just sometimes forget what age he is. I know he's a young asshole kid. That's all I know. I just feel bad for him. He'll never know the joys of how amazingly wonderful it was in the 90s and 2000s, even early 2010s. Seeing how cool and wondrous, how and more cheaper and affordable video games were at the time. Now they're almost damn near $80, $85 now. Eventually, they're going to be up to $100 and something or $200. It's crazy, man. Like my other old school, old head video games, like people always say on YouTube, like gaming industry is becoming not even just a games as a service thing. It's becoming like a thing that the luxury and the fame and the wealth of almost rich people are going to be able to enjoy sooner or later. It won't be for poor, lower class people or people in the middle class ever again. It's slowly going away from those people and getting more appealing to the super ultra wealthy rich people. Which a lot of them don't even care about video games. Most of them just, their whole real life is a video game already. So why the fuck will they want to even play something virtual when they could just buy it for millions and billions and trillions of dollars? I don't fucking get it, man. Alright, and then the last thing. This is the one I was telling you about in the first part when I did the reaction thing, the AmazingDigital Circus trailer reveal for episode 7. Silverville one. Dude, like, let's see. I'm not sure. No, that's not her. It was like a fan there. This is the one. The one with that little, like, hair or whatever and the mask. That's her. I remember her back in the day, man. Like, I'm not saying I had a huge parasocial relationship crush on Silverville. Like, her model, obviously, she has massively huge chunchis on her. I mean, even then, I'm not going to try to zoom in on it because I want you to think I'm sexually going to harass her or nothing. I'm not going to do that, YouTube, okay? Be clear. I mean, you can even see it right there. Like, I mean, they're pretty decent. I don't want to sound like I'm a sexist asshole piece of shit saying that the only 2 or 3 things I give a shit about women is that they have super long, pretty, beautiful hair, or if they have massive, huge, giant bun bags on them, aka the Tiggle Betties, or Tiggle, like, jugs on them, the Hooters on them, or the really, really super pretty, cute marshmallows that they got on them. No, it's not marshmallows. I'm not going to say the real word for it because I don't even know if that will get me in trouble. Because, oh, I'm sexually harassing somebody, like, you know? And then, like, it's not just that, or it's just that. I mean, she looked really cute there, man. She looked like she was kind of like trying to be a K-pop, Japanese, Asian chick, even though she's... And again, a lot of white people, they love... I'm not trying to generalize. I'm trying my fucking damnedest not to generalize and just paint every freaking race ethnicity under a negative stereotype. God knows my stereotype is a shit ton of them for Hispanic Latinos. I'm not the ambassador of every Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or fucking Spaniard that ever walked the fucking earth. Obviously. Every race, ethnicity of person is going to do something different that's either going to make them look good or it's going to make them look real bad. Okay? So, just try not to fucking get too pissed at me when I say this, but I don't know what it is, but like, especially for the white people out there, like, mainly the Gen Zers, millennials I'm talking to the most, like, what is it with you fucking people, not all of you, some of you? Why do you always like everything that fucking, like, other places around the world do? Like, what makes you think in your brain that... Because I know there's that whole thing about cultural appropriation, like, It's like white people, because I know in the 90s and early 2000s, they had like those fools like ICP and St. Clown Posse with the Juggalos, Third Base, Beastie Boys in the mid-80s, early mid-90s, before and after I was born, Rage Against the Machine, Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, some shady. Like, they were like the gateways to like how a lot of Caucasian white people in the United States, mainly predominantly in America. I wouldn't be surprised if Canada, the UK, and Australia probably did it too. Because they're pretty much almost the exact same countries. They use English as their first language. And the only difference here is, besides English, Spanish is like the second biggest language in this country, obviously. Because I grew up, not a Spanish-speaking household, but like in a Spanish-speaking more like church. So there's that. So I remember too with mi gente me hace, me people or whatever, like whole ya tú sabes way type of shit. But dude, come on, man. Like, back to the Caucasian white people, mainly the ones that are millennials and Gen Zers. I don't know what it is about some of you guys, but why is it that you always like copying what other race ethnicities do? I mean, you did it with a lot of African American people, aka a lot of Black Americans and shit at the time. I saw that in the 1990s and then the 2000s, and then during my college, like freaking community college and college university days from like 2009 to 2012. I saw it a whole bunch then. Like, you were copying off of people that were doing real trendy Asian shit or trendy Black American stuff or Latino, Hispanic stuff, especially with the food. Like, I'm not trying to say every white person out there is an evil piece of garbage and you just want to steal stuff because your culture is just boring and it's bland as fuck. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it. Just don't kill the messenger. I'm just having a subjective observationalist sort of viewpoint. Like, why is it, extra especially, and I don't want to throw them all under the bus. I'm sure there's probably white people out there that are very, very, very super nice ass people, which obviously, not going to get too parasocial relations with you guys, but I know my parents. Oh, dude. Especially my mom, dude. Oh, my God. She really, really, like, wanted to appeal to white people so fucking bad, bro. Really, really bad. Especially when she came to this country for the first time. My pops, on the other hand, I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I don't want to get a parasocial relationship with him. Parasocial relationship with you guys, but all I'll say is this. He, it's kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes he's a lot more chill vibes with his Mexican, well, mainly Puerto Rican, because he's pure Puerto Rican. Like, whenever he goes to, like, visit once every 2-3 years to upstate New York to hang out with his brothers, aka my uncles, like, they'll, like, hang out, shoot the breeze, shoot the crap with each other, and all this stuff, yada, yada. I'm not going to say exactly what they talk about, because obviously it's classified, private. But, I think he's a lot more comfortable hanging out with his gente of Puerto Rican peoples than he is with white people, or with black people, or with Asian people. I think the ones that get on his nerves the most is black people and Asian people. Because there's words that he uses for, well, I'm not saying he's not, like, uses words for white people too. He kind of just talks shits about all four of them. The Arabs, I'm not sure, because he never really talked about the West Indian, Arabic Indian people that much, so I don't know his views and stances. But then he came from, like, the baby boomer / Gen Xer generation, so at that time, there was probably a lot more extra racism back then compared to how it was now. And my old man, he's a fucking trooper, dude. I mean, there's some times where, like, once every month or two when I go visit him at the place or whatever, he'll get on my nerves about talking about the Bible and Jesus and Father, Son, Holy Spirit, stuff like that. Like, it gets my fucking goddamn nerves occasionally. But, I mean, I get why he does it, because his dad, aka my grandfather, that he passed away a couple of years ago, but I didn't really feel nothing when my grandparents passed away. Like, I'm not saying I was happy when it happened, but I wasn't sad either. I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's sad, but after a week later, you know, I got over it, you know? It was what it was, you know? But, you know, like, I don't know, I think the ones he talks the most shit about is mainly black people and I think Asian people. But then again, he was raised around a couple African Americans at the time too. He knows how crazy they get occasionally, every now and then. I mean, I think in my personal opinion, this is going to be a very super, extremely hyper, ultra, high, the most problematic hot take you're probably going to hear on YouTube. This video might not even make it on the YouTube. Who knows? But I think more for like the baby boomers, their generation, the silent generation, the Gen Xer generation, especially. I don't know if for millennials and Gen Z are kind of do this still. Gen Alpha may or may not do it. We'll see in due time. But I think a lot of different races of ethnicities of people that are raised with the same people over and over again, like, I think they naturally, this is going to be something that is probably going to be extremely problematic, so I want to hold on to your seat when I say this, but I think they all just talk shit about each other every time behind their back, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I used to see it all the time. When my parents would talk a fuckload of shit to, like, mainly a lot of black people and sometimes Asian people. Not all the time, but sometimes. But with white people, though, I don't know. Like I said before, I'll say it again. My mom, she would kiss their ass big time all the time when it came to a lot of white people that were higher ups. They would get a lot more money and jobs and higher paying wealth and stuff just to keep her job. And what else? On my pop side, I don't know. It's still different with him. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's all I had to say on that. But there goes my fucking experience of life, if you want to call it that. I don't even know if I'm still recording. I am. 41 minutes, damn. But yeah, that's my little TED Talk there. If any people don't know who this girl is, by the way, this is the VTuber I'm talking about. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of pictures of her too. I gotta pray and hope to God that there's not safe for work versions of her. There's another one of her, man. Fuck, I know. Where is it? I don't know where it was. Dexterdo. No, this wasn't it. Oh, yeah, this is the older one. Yeah, I remember this. Huh. I wonder if this is something else. I hope it's not safe for work. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that one out. They even had like a model mannequin, like 3D printed version of her at the TwitchCon, which I didn't even know that. That's funny though, because like, I don't know who this girl is absolutely at all. IRL, the only thing I know is that I don't feel like she's never made anything problematic, you know? She's always just been there to like do live streams and play video games and shit like that and watch anime and her Discord chats and all that. Like, I've never, not once, even though I've never seen every single one of her streams, but I don't know her IRL. I don't know her personally. I don't know how she is IRL. Maybe off camera she could be the worst person in the world. I don't know. Or maybe she could be the one of the most sweetest, kindest, down-to-earth, most humblest girls out there that really, truly care about her fans and her audience. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I would hope that's what she's like off camera and off her avatar. But, if any of you guys actually met her, any of you guys, mainly like 90-95% of our audience is male, so like 10-15% is probably female, which I'm not surprised. Tell me how the experience was. Did she treat you really super nice and sweet, even though the camera wasn't recording? Like, when it was off recording and you did meet her, did she still treat you really nice? Or was she kind of like a stuck-up bitch? Which I hope that's not what she was. And that's it. That's all I say for now. I'm out of here. No outro today. I'll see you guys soon. Hopefully you watched part 1 of this video. Take it easy. Peace out. This is goodbye. See you on the flip side. Stay extra cautious. I'll see you whenever my next videos materialize. Alright? Take care. I'm gone. Later.